Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Gabe with Indigo Software, genuine Microsoft software for less. In this video, we're going to show you guys how to set a static IP and change the host name on Windows Server 2025. Before we get started with today's video, if you guys are interested in purchasing Windows Server, remote desktop licenses, Windows 10, Windows 11, or a wide variety of other Microsoft software at a great price, be sure to check out Indigo Software. We'll have those links down below. So without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so we are here on my desktop. This is the licensed copy of Windows Server 2025 that I use primarily for demonstration on the channel. So let's go ahead and get right in. We're going to start in Server Manager. If you're not sure how to access it, we can hit the Windows key and typically find it in our pinned applications. And we can also search for Server Manager at any time. We'll go ahead and maximize this. And once we're here, we can click to Local Server, and then we can actually just click into our computer name. And it's going to pull up this little system properties box. To rename this computer or change its domain or work group, click change. So I'll click change. We're going to get an error message in this case because this server is promoted to domain controller. So it says domain controllers cannot be moved from one domain to another. They must first be demoted. Renaming this domain controller may cause it to become temporarily unavailable to users and computers. For information on renaming domain controllers, including alternate renaming methods, see renaming domain controller. Now, we are actually going to cover an alternative method to go ahead and rename your server if you are already promoted to domain controller, because like this box is telling us, we do not have to do the whole demotion, changing name, and then re-promotion steps on the newer versions of Windows Server. So let's go ahead and hit cancel here. If your server is not promoted to domain controller, you'll simply just be able to change the name here. But I'm going to go ahead and open up Windows PowerShell. I'll just search for it. It's the fastest way to get there. And we'll go ahead and start in here. For this, we're going to be using a command called netdom. Where it says CurrentName, we're going to replace that with the actual name. We'll leave this in the description for you guys. So essentially what we're doing is we're adding a new name, okay? And then where this says domain.local, we're going to replace our actual domain, and we're also going to add our new name. So I'll call this domain controller 1 dot, and then in this case it will be indigosoftware.com. Let's press enter. We can see that that was completed successfully. And now we just need to set this as the primary. So dc1.indigosoftware.com in this makeprimary command. We'll also have this in the description for you guys. And let's go ahead and press enter on that. Okay, so we can see that dc1.indigosoftware.com is now the primary name for the computer. And we do have to reboot for this to be successful. So let's go ahead and restart. To do a quick restart from PowerShell or command prompt, we can do shutdown /r/t/0. All right, and that's going to go ahead and restart our server. So we'll see you guys here in a minute. All right, we're back on our server here. I'm going to type in cmd. We'll open up our command prompt, and I'm just going to type in hostname to verify that DC1 is successful instead of our previous server name, which it is. All right, and the last part of this video is to set a static IP address. So we'll hit Windows key in order to get to the run box. And this time we're going to type ncpa.cpl and we'll press OK. It's going to bring us directly into network and internet, network connections, and then we'll typically see Ethernet here. We're just going to right click into this and hit properties. All right, guys, so once we're inside of Ethernet properties, we're going to click into Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IPv4. Basically, the way that you figure out the numbers for this is going to differ based on your application. So I'm using the default switch, which is created by Microsoft Hyper-V, which means I have a different set of addresses that is not a part of my actual LAN, which means I don't want this server to essentially be connected or be used outside of this virtual environment. So I don't want it to act like a real server on my local area network, which is why this is attached to the default switch. Basically, what all of that means is if you just have a normal server and you want this to be your domain controller and actually be on your local area network so that other computers can connect to it, you'll use your IPv4 address, not the default switch. If we leave it on the default switch, it will only NAT through the host. Okay, so that's the difference there. So let's say you don't want to use the default switch. You would go into a computer on your network here or just on your server itself and type ipconfig, and then basically under your IPv4 settings, you would have an address and your subnet mask, and then you would also have a default gateway. And so what you would do is, I've noted it here in the notepad, you'll pick something similar to this IPv4 address, but not the same. and that would go right here under IP address. Subnet mask would be the same, so you just copy this, put that here, and then default gateway, you would grab that, this number right here. Again, I just typed ipconfig in my command prompt on my Windows 11 host computer. Okay, so those are the details. Now, if I type ipconfig here, well, I already set my static IP, so I suppose this is irrelevant. Sorry, let's go back to the Windows 11 command prompt. Okay, so if I type ipconfig again, we're gonna see the default switch listed here, which shows me that IP and subnet mask, which is where we get the 172.119. So just note that difference there. I wanted to hopefully explain that in a way that is not confusing for anyone watching. We would want to use our just standard IPv4 subnet mask if you're actually making this a real server that is not just going to NAT through your host machine. So I hope that makes sense. Let us know if you have any questions. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. If you have any questions about anything we covered, feel free to drop those in the comments below, and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Again, if you're interested in purchasing genuine Microsoft software at a great price, be sure to check out Indigo software. We'll have those links down below. As our channel continues to grow, we're constantly looking for new video topic ideas. If you have any ideas of your own, we'd love to know what those are. Most viewer commented video requests get made into actual videos on our channel. Lastly, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated as it helps to support our channel. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.